Good morning, everyone. We will start this podcast in another 30 to 40 seconds. Once again, a very good morning, everyone. Welcome to Prebell with William O'Neill India. My name is Rajashekhar Kongari, Equity Research Analyst. Before we go ahead into this podcast, I would like to state the disclaimer, which is it whatever stocks we discuss in this podcast are intended only for educational purpose, should not be taken as an investment advice. Let's look into Nifty's daily chart to get the overall market picture. You can see from 17,000 levels, that is the 200 DMA, when the Nifty reclaimed that level, it had only one direction. It has moved upwards. In the last two sessions, you can see some kind of profit booking has happened in the index. Yesterday, if you see, even yesterday was a weekly expiry of Nifty and Bank Nifty options. However, relatively, the intraday volatility was slightly lesser when compared to the previous expiries. Yesterday, uh, the last two sessions, if you see, Nifty opened high. Nifty's intraday high was made in the first 5 minutes, after which Nifty started to fall throughout the session. The same thing happened in the yesterday's session as well. In the last half an hour, some buying has happened in the index that helped the Nifty to close above 18,000 level, which is a very crucial level for the index. Currently, Nifty is trading above its all key moving average, that is 21, 50, 100 and 200 DMS, which is a good sign. Also, even though we are in a rally attempt, we have started adding stocks to our model portfolio because previous high was reclaimed by the Nifty index. So that is the reason we have started adding stocks, and currently we have three stocks in our model portfolio. And today also we are expecting a very high opening on the index, mostly because of global cues, which I will be talking in the next slides. If that happens, definitely we'll be adding stocks to our model portfolio today in the during the trading session. So definitely please be watchful of your notifications. If you see any addition notification, look into the notification and look into the stock as well before adding. Some of the key news which happened overnight and which will be impacting the market in the today's session are one of the major news is in USA CPI inflation has come in at 7.7%, which has come lower than the expected of 7.9%. Core CPI has increased at 0.3%. This is month on month basis when compared to 0.5% of expectations. This is the reason US market have closed sharply higher, which is given here. You can see clearly Dow Jones was up 3.7%, S&P 5.5%, Nasdaq 7.4%, which is not a normal rise. These kind of gains which will not be seen normally once in a year or once in a 2 years time frame. These gains will be happening. So definitely global cues are very strong, and Indian market is also expected to open higher. Asian markets are also trading higher, taking cues from the US markets. You can see Shanghai 1.4%, and Nikkei and Kospi almost 3.3% higher as we speak. Uh, so this is you can see the cues are very strong. The inflation coming lower than the expected is a very strong positive sign for the markets. Recently, inflation has been a very major dragging factor in the markets globally. USA, Europe, Indian markets have also been tackling inflation. So central banks have been increasing interest rates, which is the reason growth has been coming down. recently you can see this tells us the inflation has peaked and it might come lower in the coming months as well. So that is the reason US market closed sharply higher. Coming to Indian markets, some of the few companies have reported their results yesterday. Concor, that is a subsidiary of Railways, has reported their numbers. Revenue has increased 8% year-on-year basis to 1900 crores, whereas PAT increased 14.7% year-on-year basis to 300 crores. EBITDA margins have increased almost 190 BPS basis points to 25.3, which is a good sign. Steel Authority, that SAIL has reported their results as well, but the results have missed their consensus estimates. Revenue declined 2.2% to 26,000 crores, whereas the company reported a loss of 329 crores compared to the profit of 4,300 crores in the corresponding quarter last year. Kalpataru Power Transmission has also come up with their results. Revenue increased 7% to 3,800 crores. PAT has increased 18% to 98 crores. So these companies will be on the radar today. Definitely volatile action will be happening in these stocks. If you have any of these stocks in your portfolio, please be watchful. Coming to today's action, some of the major companies such as Astral, Glenmark Pharma, Alembic Pharma, Bharat Dynamics, Hindustan Aeronautics, ABP India, IDFC, Naukri, some of these major companies will be reporting their results today. So these stocks will also be under radar today. In yesterday's market action, foreign institutional investors have bought nearly 36 crores of equities, whereas domestic investors sold 967 crores of equities in the Indian market. This we already talked about. That is a very strong action in the US market. Following up action is seen in the Asian markets as well. USD INR has come down to 80.5. Brent crude is trading at $94 per barrel, which is also a positive for the Indian market. Rupee has been appreciating recently. This is because FIS, FPI's investments have come in the last 1 month. So Rupee has been gaining. Again, a positive sign for the Indian economy. SGX Nifty is also indicating a very strong higher opening for the Indian markets, taking cues from the global markets and Asian markets as well. We might see a cap up opening and 300 400 points higher opening on the Indian Nifty index. If that opening gains are sustained throughout the session and volumes also come in, definitely we'll be seeing a follow through day. And if that happens, we'll be changing the market status to confirm our trend. Let's look into sectoral view to get an overall broad-based picture of the market. You can see most of yesterday all the sectors have closed lower. It is a very broad-based selling which happened in the Indian market yesterday. If you see sector-specific reaction, most of the sectors are in rally. You can see realty, bank, pharma, IT, FMCG, metal, auto. All these indices are in rally, which is a very good sign. Financial services are under pressure. Energy, that is Reliance, which has a heavy weight in the Nifty energy sector, is in rally attempt. If the follow through day action happens in the today's market, definitely energy will also be moved to rally. Nifty and Sensex, which are in rally attempt, will also be moved to rally. If you see key moving averages, only two indices, that is Nifty small cap and reality, are trading slightly lower, that is less than 1% lower than the 50 DMS. Definitely these DMS will be these indices will be reclaiming their 50 DMS today. And coming to the 20 DMA, 200 DMA, sorry, only Nifty IT is trading around 6% lower than the 200 DMA. IT sectors has been under selling pressure recently. So if the good action happens in the IT space as well, this 200 AMA will also be reclaimed. For a broad-based buying, these indices should also be trading above their key moving averages. Then the probability of reports will be successful. Coming to the chart of the day, we have picked action construction is today. You can see the stock has broken out from its consolidation base, 1B base. But in the last two sessions, you can see the stock closed in the lower end of the trading range, which is not a good sign. But if you look at the volumes are slightly lower than the average volumes, that is a positive sign. If the stock opens higher and sustains above its pivot of 320, definitely we might be looking for this at this stock to adding to a model portfolio. The reasons are many, starting with the fundamental rating of EPS 90, indicating a strong fundamental rating. You can see the company has reported a good set of numbers only in March and December quarter. The company reported a decreasing in EPS. However, if you look at the sales percentage changes, you can see double to triple digit sales growth has been there in the company. So definitely a good fundamentally growing company. And technical factors, price strength is at 83, is also hitting blue dots, again a good sign on the technical front. If you look at other key parameters, that is the number of funds invested in the company. It's a very small market cap company, that is 3,700 crores of market cap. So the number of funds will also be lower, but the number of funds have been increasing. If you see on quarter-on-quarter basis, starting with the 29, the number of funds have increased to 40. So if the good number of mutual funds are big investors come into this stock, definitely the stock will be outperforming the market. So that is another key parameter which is favoring the stock to add to model portfolio. So definitely we'll be looking at this stock in the today's action. If the stock sustains opening gains, definitely we'll be adding to portfolio. As I said previously, today's market action is going to be a very good positive opening. So definitely many stocks will be breaking out of the base patterns. If we find any good stock which is looking fundamentally and technically strong enough to add, we'll be adding them to our model portfolio. So please be watchful of your notifications. Thanks for joining today's pre-bill. Have a good